Folks, live from the nZone in Chantilly, Virginia, I'm Stu the announcer presenting to you Switch Versus presents Splat for Hope, a charity live stream to benefit Help Hope Live. Once again, Stu the announcer rocking with you here at twitch.tv/Switch Versus for this 4v4 Splatoon tournament. And oh my goodness, okay, pretty electric atmosphere, not going to lie. But at the same time, man, I mean, you don't just get this atmosphere from anywhere. You can only get it Switch Versus right here every single week at varying locations. Obviously, we have our thing here in Virginia, but also in the laboratory. Next week, we're going to have we have some mixer issues. Man, even the TVs are excited. This is amazing. Even the TVs are making noise in here. We're rocking out. We're about to get thunderstruck up in this piece. And once again, thank you for joining us. Shout outs to those of you here in the chat. You're here for Snugs and Charity is what Memorandum is saying. And you know what, frankly, Snugs is cool. I can dig that. I can get down with that. But frankly, I don't think these two teams are going to be snuggling up to each other anytime soon. This is Exaltation, who has quite a few squad players. They're kind of a hodgepodge of a few teams from around the Baltimore area, as well as a particularly skilled amateur in the way of it looks like it's. Yeah, there you go. Snugs is oh yeah, you know what? It only occurred to me that Snugs is the name of the guy. I thought you were just talking about Snuggles, quite frankly. So Snugs is cool. There's a slight echo. We will get on that. So thank you so much. Splat for Hope, by the way. There was a question in chat. Memorandum. Yeah, thank you. Memorandum. Splat for Hope. It is a Splatoon 4v4 tournament. Sorry, to benefit Help Hope Live. Excuse me? We do not, I'm sorry. No, sorry, trying to work out some technical issues. But, once again, we almost have everyone ready. We're just waiting for Punctual Guy, it seems. And Frank's Hot Dogs versus Exaltation is going to be how we kick things off. Folks, the box is locked, the lights are on. It's Splatoon fighting time. Welcome to Splat for Hope. We're starting things off. It's time to make it rain here in Kobe Arena. Teams checking out their loadouts. We got a blaster and a heavy splatling. I can only imagine that heavy splatling belongs to Astro, and indeed it is. Oh, wait a second. Yeah, indeed it does. That Hydra, excuse me. Well, the Hydra is pretty heavy, so it is a pressure and one that go along with it. Getting tagged there hard. But hey, I've not been able to advance as Frank's Hot Dogs. Been pretty good. Snuggles are good, Memorandum. Thank you for the agreement. Doing some work with the inkjet, at least holding them back, pestering them. They have not been able to get much of anything on their opponents. And Snugs is hunting them down. Good stuff. He catches Blue, who again running the light Tetra dualies, as well as the Clash Blaster. It looks like well, not the Clash Blaster, but a Clash Blaster, let's just say. Punctual coming very close to death, somehow avoiding it. But with those dually squelchers, he is able to keep his distance. So very fortunate for that. He tags Ace, and he finds himself on a pretty good scale here. Unfortunately, it is his team that's still down, 69-0, and that's Ninetail with the gold Dynamo Roller, providing some much-needed ink on for his team. And Punctual, he gets tagged. Ninetail not able to provide that support, and Licks trying to pop it. And they will take over the Rainmaker, but they get points on the board, so it is a 69-40 deficit. It has been ticked down. So Exaltation, if they want to get that dominating knockout that they looked like they were going to get at first, it looks like they're bunched up. Just like that, oh, the bomb doesn't do nearly as much as one might have thought it. I think they realize the dangers of being bunched up like that. And Ace, he finds himself going where Eagles dare. He almost got himself a few more ticks off the board, but it still remains at this juncture. If the match were to end right now, first of all, I'd be very surprised. Secondly, the score would be 69-40. Now, rolling through into their territory is Frank's Hot Dog. Goodness gracious. They were doing some work, and Astro providing the support that they needed, but Blue charging in fearlessly against that Neo Clash Blaster. And really, they just need as much as they can with Astro out, so no backline support, but he gets tagged hard by that Rapid Blaster throw of Ace. Good aiming. Good eye, Sniper, and I shoot, you run, but Ninetales, not a part of Coheed and Cambria for as much as I know, but certainly a favorite house of Mid-Atlantic here in Virginia. For Blue and company, as Frank's Hot Dogs are putting in work as the Rainmaker gets reset. And now Astro taking the initiative himself, and now he retreats back to his position on the back line. And Licks, well, they're going to be working 3-on-4, so that's trouble. Simply was not expecting the splashdown to come out from Katie, so well done by Katie. But of course, there's a 4-2 on the field, 4-1. If they're going to push, now is the time. Snugs charging into their territory. Ninetales is going to have to do everything he can with that gold dynamo roller just to hold them off. They're going to maintain possession, but just like that, well done by Ninetales. There's hope yet for Frank's Hot Dogs in this game number 1. And now Astro and company looking to secure the victory here in game number 1. Again, 31 ticks to go, but they will cede control of the Rainmaker. It looks like it will be taken over. And Katie and Astro, that is a trade that I'm sure that they will take. No one in, oh, they do get the Rainmaker, and that is going to be it. Exaltation, exulting after that one. The fist pounds are going around. They do indeed win by a score of 69-40 here in game number 1. So beautiful performances by both teams, and as we saw, 21 kills by Licks, who was just getting it up in their face. Blue doing some work with the Clash Blaster Neo as well, getting into double-digit kills. I believe he had 18, as we're going to confirm that real fast. 16, excuse me, certainly felt like 18. Frankly, he was racking them up so fast I couldn't keep count, but double-digit kills all around for Exaltation, and that seemed to be the key, especially early on when they just could not get their rhythm going. Frank's Hot Dogs, that's how Exaltation took advantage, and with the limited numbers on the field, they saw very limited resistance in their initial push. So as we get things going for game number 2, excuse me, I was gotta be looking at the camera now. I'm so used to switching back and forth between all these screens. I can only imagine how you would be on the Wii U, having to look between the gamepad and this. But regardless, folks, Stu the announcer, riding solo with you here on Twitch.tv/SwitchVersus, and thank you all for joining us once again for a charity live stream to benefit Help Hope Live. And I should say right now, so during the live stream, you the viewers at home will have an opportunity to donate to Help Hope Live, excuse me. Those who donate the money will be able to impact the stages that are played on Grand Finals. So you make that donation and vote for what stages you want to see for whatever mode. So the stages being disputed here are Arowana Mall, Blackbelly Skate Park, Humpback Pump Track. Say that 5 times fast. I did, just for the warm-up. Either way, Humpback Pump Track, Inkblot Art Academy, Mako Mart, New Albacore Hotel, Piranha Pit, Sturgeon Shipyard, and The Reef. So those are the stages that you have to choose from thank you so much for your donations. Thank you so much for your generosity, and thank you for supporting Switch Versus and the local Splatoon community. We can't express enough what that means to us. And that's the loadouts right there. Astro going with the heavy Splat lane for real this time. Katie switching off to the ballpoint. Very specific game plan in mind for both of these teams. And now, Blue, he got hit hard. And of course, we're going to finish out these loadouts. The Flash Blaster Neo, Gold Dynamo Roller, and the Dewey Squelchers. Roll for Frank's Hot Dog. That's going to be it. But Splash-O-Matic and a Kensa Splatter Shot throw, along with the end parry duelist. So 3 changes in weapons for Exaltation. They have a very specific game plan in mind. They definitely do value, they're going with accuracy, quite frankly. They are confident in their ability to hit their shots, as one might expect from a flat wing main like Astro, who has been known to dwell in the sniper arts, I will say that. And Katie taking out Licks with that inkjet. Beautiful shot from the young FH80. Punctual guy trying to make his way around, but being pursued. And right now it is a score of 72 ticks remaining to an entire 100. They have taken the tower, have Frank's Hot Dogs, but have not been super effective in keeping control. Well, hey, if you don't like Arowana, there's one way to prevent that. The double, I am sure that they are going to take that. The 2-to-1 kill coming out for Exaltation. And just like that, it's still a 4-3 advantage on the field for Exaltation, as Licks on the front lines with those end carry duelies, and they have dominated the meta, at least in the East, for so long, and slowly their influence has spread its way to the West, especially after, of course, this summer, the GG boys taking the Splatoon World Championships in Los Angeles, and the end parry duelies have dominated the Japanese meta pretty much since day one, or as the day one of the end parry duelies. We'll just go ahead and ignore what I said there. But regardless, Snugs coming through. Yeah, no, he's got himself a Splash-O-Matic, and he ain't afraid to use it, but there are points on the board for maybe a mistimed charge forward by Bloom, and he will pay. It's a 4-2 advantage on the field, and now it's time for Exaltation to push the initiative. They are going to get forced off the tower by an expertly placed bomb throw. It looked like it could have been from anyone, quite frankly, but we're going to see Blue in retreat, and they're going to take more off of their counter. They're down to 35. It's a 35-10 lead in favor of Exaltation right now, and they're not done yet. They've got it down to 50, and they're gonna keep going. Katie does get a splat, but is it enough to take back the initiative? Well, they did lose the tower, so there is that, but the damage has been done. Thus far, a 55-10 advantage in favor of Exaltation. And Frank's Hot Dog, they're going to have some major work to do if they want to get themselves back into this one. Astro, oh, he's going to sit in that point center. He does not care. He says, you know what? I dare you to hit my shot. This is Astro making a statement here and now, and he will retreat as they do lose the tower. Sensing that maybe Ace is a little too far forward, but Ace is putting in that work nonetheless. A critical splat at the front of the line, and Snug sees this, takes advantage, and on the tower he will go. And again, you know what? They're very much, it's like how the Germans play soccer. Let's just say that. What's the best way to defend? To possess the ball. Thus, you're not going to get points taken off the board if you are in possession of the tower. I like this strategy from Frank's Hot Dog. I have to be my own color commentator, folks. It's not going to be the most fluid thing in the world, so bear with me. But regardless, Licks coming through. Everything fluid about that. He's got himself a double. He might not be done. Get yourself a triple, young man. And Licks, could he get the team wipe? Not quite. But the inkjet, goodness gracious. Licks taking a bite out of the opposing side, and it's down to a 63 points. 64, excuse me. See, this is why you don't try to count live. But Licks has been putting in that work, and Stubbs doing his part on the front lines as well, giving his team copious amounts of ink with which to work, which allowed that push to happen to begin with. They have taken the tower, so we are going to go into overtime. The question is, can they make that final push? The ink armor will in fact help. And the Tenta missiles coming out as well. Maybe a counter for the Stingrays that have been the bane of so many people's existence. And tower control! Oh no, that's the Splat, and that is the game. Game number 2. Ninetales was hanging on for dear life. Could have used another ink armor, but ultimately, none to be had. A fine effort by both teams, and eventually did take some more points off of the board. But it will end up as a victory. And Licks, of course, the star of the show for this game number 2 with 19 splats, did pretty well for himself and double-digit splats all around for a 64-16 victory for Exaltation. Everyone except Astro, who did his job on the back line, quite frankly. Did his job on defense. You know what? You don't judge a goalie by how many goals he scores. So Astro, definitely the last line of defense and first line of offense, allowing his team to get victory. Definitely turf. The amount of turf that was taken in that match definitely was the deciding factor. I did like the Splash-O-Matic choice myself. It's a very underrated weapon. I mean, you know he wasn't really going for splats, but frankly, that could also be taken as a challenge. I'm talking to my producer, Sarge, right there. Sarge, shout-outs to him. Follow him on Twitter. I'm sure that he'll put his stuff up on the screen if he decides to go rogue, yeah. But regardless, or just put it up in the chat, either way. But either way, turf control was, it's like those fundamentals of turf war. They never go away, and they were exercised there. And Frank's Hot Dogs, quite frankly, just did not have the room with which to work. And despite their efforts, donation efforts, it appears, do not appear. Can we get on that? Or donations? Donations are coming through, apparently. And I'm not seeing it, quite frankly, so... yeah, we need to figure out how to access donations so I can read them on stream. And once again, thank you for your generosity, for donating, and for supporting Switch Versus, the local Splatoon community, because frankly, without you, none of this is possible. So from the bottom of our hearts, I'm from Philadelphia, so definitely want to spread the brotherly love amongst all people watching all over the world here at twitch.tv/Switch Versus. We're going to get things going for you real fast with the... Crazy Croco put in $1. Thank you so much for that. And we are going to get things rocking here with game number 3 as soon as everyone gets connected up. It seems that we are waiting for a few of the... Is there a connection issue going on there? We'll figure that out. But once again, thank you for donating. And thank you for watching here, twitch.tv/Switch Versus. I'm Stu, the announcer. Hey, you know what? Since you're on the computer, since you're on the interwebs, could not be a computer as well. Appears we can't really chroma key anything here, but regardless of that, we'll just kind of hang out here. This is not as natural as I first thought. So, but either way, certainly invite you to follow us on all forms of social media at Switch Versus on Twitter. Of course, visit our website, switchversus.com, www.switchversus.com, for all these sorts of things. And yeah, no, we're trying to figure things out, folks. It's not it's a solo operation here. Kate's, Kate's, we'll figure that out. And when I say we, I mean I. So I'm sure I'll be corrected in the chat. And shout outs to the chat, man, creating such a great environment for us to just hang out, enjoy Splatoon, and frankly to help out a really good cause, Help Hope Live, which does a lot of work in assisting families who have who have members who are recovering from organ transplants, I should say. So there was definitely a more natural way to read that. But yeah, no, the Help Hope Live, it's on-site preferable, and I'm trying to see that. Okay, yeah, there we go. Help Hope Live is okay, so their mission, for those of you who are curious, for the cause as to which you are donating, Help Hope Live is to help people with unmet medical expenses due to organ transplants or major illnesses. So obviously a very important thing. If you've ever been sick or you've ever been injured, you know how much those medical things can cost. I myself have had to go through that in the past year, and it's not fun. So when you have a charity like Help Hope Live take care of these things, it really does help, and you're helping to make a difference in a lot of people's lives. Some people who are hurting, some people who could use they're not looking for a handout, they're looking for a hand up. So definitely appreciate all the help that you give them, and once again, thanks for hanging out with us. I don't know how many times I hung out with you. Super Smash Wifey donated. Absolutely. We're going to get things sorted out on the technical end. Are we waiting on them, or what's going on?
No. We're waiting on them to win. Winner from that setup is going to come over here.
Oh, gotcha. So,
once someone wins there, we're going to come over there.
Gotcha. So we're doing best of 3.
Yep.
Okay, fair enough. Oh, so Exaltation. Definitely exulting after their 2-0 win. And Frank's Hot Dogs, it's not like they weren't giving it to them. They definitely got a few ticks off the board and gave them a few scares. But ultimately, the basics prevailed. And Astro with that backline play, along with the frontline play of Licks and it wasn't Punctual Guy, although Punctual Guy was actually not half bad with those dually squelchers. That's Dragon Warrior. Dragon Warrior is, in fact, right here, man. Yeah, he's hanging out, and he's helping to run the stream and helping out our boy Sarge on production. Shout-outs to Sarge as well. So, yeah, players having fun. Any idea how much money has been raised? Dragon Warrior, do you have a comment on that?
We're going to talk about that. We're going to take a break once we're set up here, and then we'll update everyone on the donations.
Are we taking a break right now?
As soon as Sarge is done doing what he's doing. So about a minute.
So should I hop off of commentary right now and just let him set up that?
We're going to put up a be right back.
Okay, so folks, we are going to take a quick break as we are awaiting the results of the other match, which I believe. Okay, and I do love these names, quite frankly. We do have Ace of Spades, SND, this is the one team. And of course, the other one, folks, I swear this is the actual name, is the Shoal Train. It is, which is so amazing. I love it, and I hope that, sorry?
We're ready for break.
All right, and we are going to go to the break right now. So coming up next, more Splatoon 2 action. Don't go anywhere. You're watching twitch.tv/switchversus here at Splat for Hope. nZone here at Chantilly, Virginia. I'm Stu, the announcer. Thanks for rocking out with us here. Twitch.tv/Switch Versus. And once again, thanks to our sponsors, DC Esports, Esports Fair Play, eStarland.com, the Hero Group, the Target of Fairfax, Virginia, and Walmart as well. So thank you once again to all of our sponsors that help make all of this possible and helping to support the esports scene here in the DMV. And of course, that includes Smash, of course. I believe Switch Versus does stuff in affiliation with Xanadu, one of the premier destinations for Smash. Really going back a long way, going back all the way to like the OG Melee days before Brawl even came out. So obviously a lot of history there. And once again, really appreciate every single one of you who have donated. And speaking of which, I'd like to thank you all individually. And I'm gonna ask Sarge, yo, hit me one time with the names. Yeah, so once again, thank you to Crazy Croco, Seawash, and Barry. Thank you so much for all your donations. And we are going to count that to Crazy Croco donated $1 towards Hump Track. Okay, that is good to know. But what we are going to do from here on in, I'm going to give you about a 3-minute period to donate to individual tracks, and we will let you know as to which tracks you are donating. So if you want to see a particular track, you can. We're going to sort that out. Actually, should we just do they type in what they want? Yeah. You know what? So what we're going to do. So here's what we're going to do. Instead of that, you just type in what you want, and we'll read it out. There you go. We had a system going at first, but then that involved a stopwatch and me having to look at it. Frankly, there are enough things that are distracting me already, so I'm already not looking at the camera enough, and I apologize for that. So it's that's how we're gonna be rolling, and we really do appreciate you have your hands in this event next year. Neo Princess Inkling. Okay, there you go. Can't to see you here, and we can't wait to see you at Switch Versus. If you do come out to one of our events, that would be very much appreciated, certainly. And we're going to keep things rolling here as we have Exaltation next up on stream, and it looks like I'm not sure if they're going to be moving or what, but it seems as if they are in fact still waiting for game number 3. Just tell them to play it on stream. Yeah, no, we are waiting for the. We're waiting for that match to wrap up and get the results in. It looks like it has indeed. And we are going to get the result to you very shortly. How long did that match take? Goodness gracious. Like, did they just play friendlies? I don't even know what happened. Oh boy, and we have, it seems we have Jello attacking people, so that's not a good sign. Hey, how you doing? So as we get things going here with the next match on stream, hey, that's Sophia, Octogirl, right? Octogirl, yeah. Right on. That is actually a really cool. I'm a little jealous of her controller. Oh, it's not yours? No. Oh, okay. Can I have it?
I won the match. No.
Why not?
It's borrowed.
And?
It's not mine. I borrowed it.
Okay, I just want to borrow it for longer.
That's keeping it.
Yeah.
No, I have to give it back.
Okay. All right. As long as you're not getting in trouble, fine. Go ahead. But
Hi, Mom. Hi, Mom.
yeah, the hi, Mom. I mean, you have the coolest mom ever if she's just watching Twitch streams. So I'll we'll let you get going. That's Octogirl, who is again part of the. Let me see here. Yeah, Target is in fact a sponsor for sure. I can't really tear up this paper though. It is the Thanksgiving schedule for the nZone, which is the gracious host of our humble little stream. It is our humble abode for today, and we like to thank them for letting us host our event here. Part of the New Life Church, I believe it is. So it's a really nice facility. They have a fitness center. We're looking at a bunch of weights that I'm probably never going to be able to pick up. And, I mean, I'm an E-athlete. What can I say? Yeah, the whites are definitely customs. They're super cool. Turn down the in-game volume just a tad, said the crazy Croco. And frankly, if he's donating, then I feel like we can abide to that, for sure. The man's splashing some cash. I believe that we can. But yeah, no. Oh, crazy Croco, since you donated, where did you want that donation to go towards in terms of the track?
Any of those 9 maps that I gave you.
Out of the maps that we listed off, and if you need a reminder, Arawana Mall, Blackbelly Skate Park, Humpback Pump Track, Inkblot Art Academy, Mako Mall, New Albacore Hotel, Piranha Pit, Sturgeon Shipyard, and The Reef. So, whichever one of those that you want to see in Grand Finals, you just let us know, my man. So, and we will count that towards the grand total. We already have Humpback Pump Track in the lead, it seems. And shout-outs to everyone. You put it in the message? Oh, it was Humpback Pump Track. Who was it that didn't have it in the message? Just pull it up for me real fast. It was Seawash. Okay, with the 211. So, Crazy Croco, you already put it in for Humpback Pump Track. Thank you so much. And it's Seawash who we need to.
Oh, that's my wife. Is she not on chat?
Oh no, Super Smash Wifey. Yeah.
All right,
Totally.
Pick for her. If she doesn't pick, her husband will pick for her.
Okay, well apparently your husband just threatened to take away your autonomy. I think is what happened. That was some. Well then don't say it. Like, what did you want from me? That's not actually what happened, but Super Smash Wifey, for sure, get your donation in. Otherwise, it's in the hands of Dragon Warrior.
It'll go to Mako Mark unless she says otherwise.
Super Smash. Okay. So Super Smash Wifey, we're going to see exactly what happens and. Yeah, no, that's Dragon Warrior for you. No, Dragon Warrior is, he has made his choice. He's asking Super Smash Kiddo. Okay. He is off corralling Octogirl for her team. And so Super Smash Kiddo is being asked, said your wife.
You said what?
Super Smash Kiddo is being asked.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm assuming that you know who that is. Probably
Super Smash
Kiddo.
Bros. Kid?
Kiddo.
Oh, that might be my son.
That very well might be. There you go. And that was, in fact, give it up for the, I guess, left leg of Dragon Warrior, folks, appearing live on stream. So we are about to, oh, goodness gracious, all aboard the Shoal train. Here we go. And now, it's going to be Exaltation versus Shoal train. I can't do it. I'm not Don Cornelius. I can't do that voice. Shout outs to Don Cornelius. God rest his soul. But yeah, no, we are going to board the Shoal train here, and of course that team of Shoal and Jello and oh my goodness gracious. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get a view over the monitors. But regardless, folks, twitch.tv/switchversus. Yo, if you have not already, hit that follow button like it owes you money. We got events all throughout the year. It's not just Splatoon, folks. It's all the games that you can play on the Switch. You know how it is. Mario Tennis Aces. Yeah, you know we got that. You know we got us some. What was it? No, so I can only imagine they're going to have a playthrough of Let's Go Pikachu or Eevee. Maybe. You know, you got some single-player action. Throw that in. Some Super Mario Party. Not really competitive, but you know, it certainly gets competitive. When you start getting money involved in those matches like we tend to do at the laboratory in Hatboro, Pennsylvania, things can get a little dicey. And it has ended a friendship I saw. I'm not sure if it ended it, but it's definitely been damaged beyond a certain amount of repair. And of course, there's a game that I'm thinking of. Yeah, they definitely play that for sure. So, as we get things going here, okay, well, the verdict is in, and the wife has said Arowana Mall, and if the husband knows any better, he will absolutely listen to what you say. So that $2.11 will be going towards Arowana Mall. So good stuff, and I'm not sure if Barry is still around, but we will get his opinion as well, if that is to be determined. And other than that, I guess I'll be the one doing it. So it has been determined Arowana Mall is where the $2.11 will be going towards, so it puts that in the lead. And so we're going to see a pretty high elevation, narrow map. Should be interesting. Hopefully, it'll be interesting as to whether or not it's going to be for tower control. But as we get things set up between Shoal Train and Arowana, so we have Kiai, I believe it was. Yeah, Kiai, Jello, Shoal, and oh, who else was it? Oh, Squall. Thank you. Yeah, Kiai. No, that's so. It's not Shoal. This is Ace of Spades, I should say. Shoal is over there playing his match against Frank's Hot Dogs, who again put in a very good showing against Exaltation, but ultimately just coming up short thanks to some solid gameplay. Not really them coming up short, more just them getting outplayed by a couple of three very accomplished squad players and one very technically sound. I guess, unsigned player in, what is it, Snugs? Yeah, believe that was. Yeah, we're going to have to look that up. But either way, we'd like to thank you all for rocking with us here. And as we get things set up, looking for the... Okay, so they didn't go into land mode. Oh, my goodness gracious, folks. How do you miss input on the menu? That is some okay. You know what? We're gonna ignore that. But folks, talk to me in the chat. How you doing? All 19 viewers, really appreciate yous, and keep those donations coming in. Right in the stages that you want to see in grand finals. We could very well be seeing Exaltation in those grand finals if they keep up this run of form. And Lix was leading the pack in terms of splats gotten. Double digits each match. I believe the first one he had 21, and the second one he had 19. So already 40 splats for the young Lix. And So as we get things going, hopefully, we're going to figure this out, folks. Right now, they're just kind of walking around Inkopolis Square. I was about to say Plaza, but no, it's not Plaza, it's Square. So we're going to check out exactly what's going on, and we'll get word from you in just a moment. But folks, keep those donations coming in. I'm not really sure exactly what I should be saying. I'm not used to having to stall for this long, quite frankly. But it's I'm not really sure what else to say. Yeah, definitely need more donations, but at the same time, and I'm not the one to ask people to give their money without doing that myself. So I threw in a donation before the stream started, and that's not towards any stage. It's just in general. But at the same time, it's going to be interesting to see exactly what stages are selected for sure. Because right now we have Humpback and Arowana, I believe, are the two stages that are in the lead. That Neo Princess Inkling, we will see you whenever you get back. But we're just trying to get things situated to the point where we can get things we can really get things going again. And hopefully we are ready to go. Hopefully we're all in land mode and the room is discoverable. Please let that be the case. No, they're not. Oh my goodness, how is this still a thing? I'm sorry? Oh, the router. Okay, so the router is part of the problem too. So I was about to say, like, first of all, they're misinputting on the menu, so that doesn't really bode well towards their gameplay. But at the same time, Exaltation, it was them who took home a 2-0 victory the last time we saw, and looking at how things shook out from last match, and it still shows the team is incomplete. So I'm not really sure the results of that match. I didn't get anything, so I'm gonna need some results fed to me at some point. So yeah, as we are getting things rolling, we have the menu that is, you have the room that's been created. You are hearing the game audio, I believe. Hey, I didn't even see it, but we did get a new follower. Hang on, let me just peep game as to who it was. And it's not really popping up for me. But we did get a new follower. Thank you so much for following us. Really do appreciate you. Give us a shout out in the chat because we didn't get to catch your name. It was not the easiest thing in the world to read in front of our sponsors, who I guess we should thank once again, DC Esports, the main sponsor of all this, Esports Fair Play as well, eStarland.com, the Hero Group, Target of Fairfax, and also Walmart. So thank you once again for your patronage. Thank you for your support of the local esports scene. And of course, if you, the individual, want to support us, you can hit that follow button like it owes you some money. You can follow us as one person just did. Hey, it's Manda. Thank you so much for the follow. And we're going to keep things going here. I think we are ready to go. Exaltation, could victory be in the cards against Ace of Spades? We will certainly find out here. But of course, Squall, Kiai, Soy, and Jello are going to have something to say about that for sure. So, hey, it's Manda. Thank you so much for the follow. And we'll give you the shout-outs if you are a follower as well. And we're going to get that mouse pointer off of the screen as well. Your mouse. The mouse arrow. It's on the screen. No, not that one. No, there's literally a cursor. Okay, folks, I can't believe I'm having to do this. Okay, you got it. Turns out it was something on our end, so don't worry about that. We are good to go. The question is, will all signs point to victory for Ace of Spades, or is their luck going to run out against Exaltation? seems as if Ace of Spades beat the Shoal Train in their first match. So we are going to see the loadouts right here. The Kensa dualies coming out for Licks, along with the Custom Blaster, the Splattershot Pro, the Forged Splattershot Pro, and the Heavy Splatling coming out for Exaltation as Astro does some work. He does get splatted by Squall, and again the loadout for the Ace of Spades. The Splattershot Pro coming out for them, along with a Carbon Roller, which you do not see all that often in this metagame, along with the Octobrush Nieve and the NZAP 85. So turf coverage very much favored here, looking for a close range set here in this Clam Blitz matchup for game number 1. Oh, wow, beautiful stuff with the Bubble Blower. Taking out everything with no regard for Inkling life was Licks, just charging in, and the score is taking 29 ticks off, and they may not be done, but the barrier is back up, and the penalty has been set at 14. So first blood has been drawn by Exaltation, and could they be celebrating a Game 1 victory here against Ace of Spades? Yeah, specials all coming out to get those 29 points off of the board. Beautiful stuff. And we do have ourselves a ball. Licks passing it right off to Ace. Trying to do some trickery. 4-3 on the field. That NZAP is out of the way. So maybe not as much of a close range threat available. And that Pity Clam has yet to be picked up. It is now. And the splashdown trying to give themselves a little bit of room. But Ace looking to meet. Oh, wow. That was some dirty dealings. Done dirt cheap by Ace. And now the barrier will be broken once again. The counter is down. The 56, they could get it down to more than halfway. If Licks can dispose of Squall, he indeed can. And he is going to put more in. He is taken out eventually. And Soul doing some work. But it is 3-2 on the field, and the counter is only going down further. But no clams to be had. It looks like that will be it for this rush, but Astro and Ace, they're overextending themselves. This could be dangerous. Astro, he's just trying to get this kill however he possibly can. And yeah, Jello, goodness gracious, his legs must be like Jello after that splat by Astro. And the Stingray coming out, honing in on that Pity Clam. And now Snugs, they have 2 clams on the field, and right now, just no offense to be mounted at all by the opposition. They're going to have to settle for some Tenta missiles, which it looks like isn't going to do much. And a whole clam coming through, power clam I should say. And Snugs is going to be hung up in the air with that inkjet, which did some work in keeping them back, but it's going to be Kiai who's going to charge forward, not taking that clam right away, as one might expect, but certainly have to build up that advantage however they can. They just can't seem to get an angle in. A sea of green meeting Kiai, and Exaltation is putting in that work. Grab your hard hats and your punch cards. These two, oh my goodness gracious, Ace and Licks. Solid mid-range player Ace, who's been getting his fair share of kills to go along with, as you see, Squall getting taken out, and the barrier will be broken again. Can they tick the timer down even more? Yes, they can, and that is going to do it. The knockout blow is administered, and that is going to be a 1-0 victory, or 1-0 lead for Exaltation, excuse me. And not a bad effort at all, but ultimately just overwhelmed by Exaltation. We're the Ace of Spades. And you see that tells the story, doesn't it? Double-digit kills all around. Licks leading the pack with 20, and Astro with 14. Ace and Snugs coming in with 18 and 16 respectively. So not a bad game at all for the gents known as Exaltation. But that was Yeah. That was definitely pretty brutal, I will say that. So, as you saw the counter just go up and up in terms of the Splats gotten for the for the green side, I guess. That was yeah, no, that was a stomping for sure. But it wasn't like it was for a lack of effort. At the same time, from Ace of Spades, they had some good ideas, but ultimately the game plan was there, and obviously it's with Clam Blitz, it's such a fickle mode, especially on a map like Camp Triggerfish. There's only so much that you can do. You have limited options in terms of lanes that you can take in, and that definitely showed with the showing there. But we are going to keep going. It's time to make it rain on the reef. And we're going to see how the loadout differs here. And we have a bamboozler, folks. I cannot believe I just said that. But we have a bamboozler being broken out by Snugs, who's going to be playing the backline, alongside Astro with the ballpoint splatling, and the Kensa roller, as well as the Kensa dualies, being broken out by his two teammates. And and opposing them, goodness gracious, Gel just felt the full force of that Kensa roller. And it will be the first blood being drawn by Ace of Spades this time, hoping that victory is in the cards for them. But right now, they have been dealt the worst hand possible by Exaltation. The double splat, make it a triple. Ace, the ace in the hole for Exaltation. Could this be a knockout victory? Snugs, he's got a through lane and the knockout blow. Goodness gracious, with the force of a hurricane, Exaltation taking that one, and that is 2-0. And Ace of Spades, I mean, what else can you say? But there was a game plan from the very start, and it was administered. Squall, there's only so much that they could do, man. That was pretty brutal. Ace with the triple right at their base. And Squall with the only kill on the side of Ace of Spades. And you can see that. I think that was at the beginning of the match where he grabbed the Rainmaker to take initiative initially. So before that, getting 6 ticks off of the board. But Exaltation, it looks like, is going to be Exaltation is going to play their last match off stream. So that is a 2-0 victory. And yeah, the bamboozler, I gotta think the bamboozler was the key to victory there, Sarge. Goodness gracious. I hope I never have to say that sentence again. But folks, once again, we thank you for joining us here. Splat for Hope, live from the nZone in Chantilly, Virginia. Twitch.tv/Switch Versus. We thank you for joining us. I'm BCE, Stu the announcer, I should say. Can we get that edited, actually? BCE, capital B, capital C, lowercase e, Stu the announcer. Just for clarification. But hey, you know what? Got to represent. So lowercase e, but yeah, you're basically it. So once again, folks, we're going to get the Shoal Train on board stream finally, and we're going to see what the Shoal Train is all about. As we do have the results from the off-stream matches, and it's not like Ace of Spades did bad. We need the results.
Oh.
And we're also gonna.
So then, Exaltation is A, Frank's Hot Dogs is B, Ace of Spades is C, Team D is just Team D.
Okay, so yeah, that's the Shoal Train. Team D is the Shoal Train. So who won these? So Frank's Hot Dogs wound up taking the victory over Shoal Train off stream, and yeah, Exaltation. Looks like they took, they definitely took Frank's Hot Dogs to task in the first match on stream. And we're looking, Frank's Hot Dogs we're going to see the results of Frank's Hot Dogs versus Ace of Spades, which is coming up on stream. Exaltation and okay, so we are going to get Frank's Hot Dogs on here, and Shoal Train are.
Spades is on the left.
Yeah, okay, so Shoal Train is going to be off stream, and they didn't have too bad of a setup for themselves, but ultimately, They did wind up beating Ace of Spades, I'm seeing right here, so excuse me for that. We're going to read out some donations if we have them. So once again, thank you all for donating, and if you don't know already, right down below, that's the donate button for Help Hope Live. So, and once again, thank you to those who have donated thus far. Crazy Croco, Seawash, and Barry. Hey, if you want to see a stage in Grand Finals, then definitely hit that donate button. Tell us what stages you want to see in Grand Finals for this tournament, benefiting Help Hope Live, which is a charity that helps people overcoming organ transplants and illnesses, helping their families survive, and hopefully letting them take care of their medical expenses and just helping them through that troubling time in their lives is definitely something here in the United States not a lot of people are strangers to. This is the unfortunate situation, but definitely want to thank you for supporting such a worthy cause for Help Hope Live. And once again, all the proceeds here going to Help Hope Live. So this isn't for profit. This is all for the cause. All the profits going to a very, very good charity that helps out a lot of people in a very meaningful way. So as we get things rolling here, between it looks like Ace of Spades and Frank's Hot Dogs, who are going to make their re-debut here after taking a victory over the Shoal Train getting derailed more or less. But Ace of Spades are just looking for their first victory, and they do not look to be too happy right there, as you see Squall's face. So we are going to see Katie, Punctual Guy, Ninetales, and Blue back in action. And again, they were really the only team that gave Exaltation a whole lot of trouble in any sense of the word. So Ace of Spades just looking to get on the board and maybe play spoiler for Frank's Hot Dogs, who again, if they win, they will guarantee themselves a spot in the Grand Finals. Of course, if Shoal Train can get on the board, that would put them, I believe, at 2-1, would it? Yeah. And a win over Exaltation, man, that would throw this whole thing out of whack. Goodness gracious. I mean, what do you even say to that? So as we get things sorted out over on the other setup, once again, we'd like to thank you for watching twitch.tv/switchversus. Give a shout out in the chat. Definitely want to be talking with you throughout this set as we're going to get things set. Starfish Main Stage, the new and supposedly improved Starfish Main Stage. Time to ride the tower for, I believe, the second time today on stream. You know what? Ride the tower, it says, so ride the tower we shall. It is Frank's Hot Dogs versus the Ace of Spades. Victory in the cards for one of these teams. Here we go. A Splat Charger coming out from Blue, along with the Dooley Squelchers of Punctual and Perry Doolies from Katie, and Ninetales with the Bloblobber. I'm going to try not to judge him too harshly for that. Of course, a Bloblobber coming out on the other side as well, along with the Slosher, the Kensa Doolies, and the Kensa Octobrush as well. Bloop getting splatted by Gel, but Ninetales returning the favor with that Bloblobber, and they are making a dent in that scoreboard. Got 33 ticks off right now, and Bloop playing the role of sniper, trying to keep Squall at bay. No splash to be had for Squall, but you might as well just throw out those hurt boxes. Definitely helps. And a giant stamp has come out from Gel. Not able to drop the hammer on anyone, but nonetheless, it's always good to have that threat very clear and present. And Blue breaking out that Stingray. Could you believe it, a Stingray in tower control? I can't, quite frankly. And now, trying to make even more of a dent in that scoreboard, and indeed they will. Down to 65-0 lead for Frank's Hot Dogs, who are cooking themselves up a victory Oh, with the splat from the slosher bucket from Ki, and they will take the tower back. Beautiful defense, but the damage has been done. It's an 87-0 victory right now in store for Frank's Hot Dogs and Ace of Spades, just looking to get themselves a better hand to play here. And once again, folks, if you have not already donated, definitely do so. All the proceeds will go towards Help Hope Live, and you get to decide what stages you see in Grand Finals here at Splat for Hope. Now the question is, you don't get to determine which teams you see, but it's going to be Ace of Spades trying to play spoiler for Frank's Hot Dogs. Gets the splat on Squall, does Katie. Oh, and the shot on Soul as well. With the wrath of the sun, Katie shines down a ray of pain from that inkjet. Jen gets splatted. Katie, they're all the way down to 13 with the count, and they do lose the tower there. And it gets taken back. But there is just a sea of green ink. They have not been able to spread ink around at all. Those Kensa dualies have not been out nearly long enough for them to be an influential part of this matchup. And Squall trying to throw out those hitboxes with the Bloblobber. But the sniper, goodness gracious, from above. And the Tenna missiles will make Squall rethink his positioning. Katie going hunting right now with that inkjet, and Squall just kind of hanging out right there. And who can blame him? That's good position to play defense. And right now you need every single advantage that you can get, but it looks like they are going to count down on that counter. And yeah, they are indeed at the checkpoint, and it's down to 10 remaining. A 90-2 advantage right now. And this could very well be it. But they do take back the tower, do Ace of Spades. Goodness gracious, they're going to need more than that in order to win this hand. But, oh, there you go. Those are critical splats. It's 3-3 on the field. And just a sea of green ink. No way for Orange to make their way out. And Ace of Spades are in trouble here with almost just over a minute remaining, and we are indeed at the 1 minute mark right now. It was a huge wipe coming in from Ace of Spades, though. But it's 3-2 on the field right now in advantage of Frank's Hot Dogs. And their tournament hopes coming to a boiling point right here. And Katie, with the dualies, hunting down Jello, and certainly does. Nothing goes with hot dogs like a side of freshly sliced up Jello. And that is going to be what gives them the advantage right now. 4-3 on the field. And hunting down and killing Kia and Squall as well. Goodness gracious, Katie catches Saul as well. A triple from the young lady. And could that be what secures a knockout victory? And it is! A knockout blow administered by Katie after a triple going into the base with the inkjet and following it up with another kill on the dualies. And it wasn't for a lack of effort, but frankly, the distribution of ink from Frank's Hot Dogs was just way too much. And 26 splats from Katie. She was putting in that work, riding the lightning all the way to victory in game number 1. And it was Ace of Spades who just could not get momentum going. Might want to emphasize putting down more ink on the field just so they have room to work with, but they kept getting pushed back, quite frankly. And obviously, those big team wipes helping them push along. Yeah, no, it is a pretty. I wouldn't say it's a pointless checkpoint because, frankly, if you get past that, that's how you secure yourself a victory, more or less. That is your win condition, or at least a knockout. And frankly, that counter right there could be the difference between victory and defeat. So, wouldn't call it pointless, but definitely is influential. And as we wait for the next round here, we're going to check in on who has donated thus far. And once again, thanks to you all. Thus far, Crazy Croco, Seawash, and our good friend Barry. So good to see you all. But again, you get to influence which stages you see in grand finals. So if you want to help us out, figure out what stages to play, definitely donate. But also, you get to help out some families in need, as all these proceeds are going to help Hope live. So, Splat zones, time to control the zones. Is this the first time today we're seeing this on stream? Indeed it is. And not a moment too soon. I would say, in fact, that it's punctual. Hey, look at that. And no real change aside from Ninetales going with that Kensa Dynamo Roller. And Bloop, again, with the Splat Charger. Changes abound, however, for Ace of Spades. And once again, we got a Bamboozler, I believe the Make 2, along with the Mini Splatling. Oh, but he gets caught from behind. Katie, goodness gracious, playing some Metal Gear Solid, playing with that sneak-up attack. Catches Squall as well, has herself a triple. Could it be a team wipe? More or less, no, she will find herself outnumbered by both Saul and Kia, who again, playing with the dualies, the N-Parry dualies, Dually Squelchers, the Splat Charger, and the Kenta Dynamo Roller on the side of on the side of Frank's Hot Dogs, Ace of Spades, with the Kensa Splatter Shot being broken out for the first time on stream today, along with the Tetras and the Mini Splatling to go along, yes, folks, with the Bamboozler. And Katie with that Inkjet again, seek and destroy is the motto. Right now, just not able to take control of that zone at all is Ace of Spades, gets caught with the sniper. Goodness gracious, the Fire Fin from Bloop. And that is a 2-0 victory. Victory not in the cards for Ace of Spades. And Frank's Hot Dogs, they might have just secured themselves a spot in grand finals alongside Exaltation, who will secure their spot as well pending a victory over the Shoal Train. And that is how it's going to look. Frank's Hot Dogs beating Ace of Spades 2-0. Could have gone better for Ace of Spades, but ultimately just could not get into the zone, and that was from pillar to post, a beating. So yeah, that is going to be it for round robin play, unless, of course, we do need to see the results of, I believe, tower control, it looks like, on the other setup. But folks, we are going to take a quick break, and coming up next, we are going to have the grand finals here from Splat for Hope. Don't go anywhere. Be sure to donate if you want to see a certain stage in the grand finals. We'll see you then. Folks, welcome to the Grand Finals here at Splat for Hope. We have the top 2 teams in the tournament ready to go, sitting down, and they are ready to get at it. So let's go. Once again, Stu the announcer joining you here, twitch.tv/switchversus, and we cannot wait to present this Grand Finals matchup between Exaltation, who went undefeated through round robin play, and Frank's Hot Dogs, who really were giving them quite the challenge in the round robin pool play in the first match on stream. So will the last verse be the same as the first, or are Frank's Hot Dogs going to write a new ending to this particular story? We're going to figure that out soon enough. But be sure, once again, to donate to help Hope live if you want to determine exactly what stages get played in this here Grand Finals. Right now, based on donations right now, Humpback Pump Track and Arowana Mall are the stages that we are going to play thus far.
So in terms of
and
just pick. So what's the next?
Oh, so we are going to figure that out very shortly. But once again, thank you for joining us here at twitch.tv/switchversus. If you have not already, hit that follow button like it owes you some money, and be sure to follow us on Twitter as well at switchversus for all the updates of the Switch Versus events that are happening both in this area and in others. Personally, we have the events going on in Philadelphia that I'm a part of, the Splatoon events, as well as Mario Tennis Aces and ARMS. That's Switch Versus at the laboratory that takes place at the Bros Calamity channel. So there you go. And we're going to get things going for the Grand Finals. And as we are mixing up the stages right now, and it looks like the first mode on hand. Give a shout out in the chat, by the way, if you are watching. Definitely love hearing from you. And thank you for joining us for this grand final matchup as we await the teams to all enter in as Exaltation, who once again, man, this hype is reaching its peak right here. So Cats and Punctual, Ninetales, and Bloop are going to be the... Oh, Katie, excuse me, yeah. Sorry, I was reading it off the screen and it looked like cats, whatever. But either way, Katie, Punctual, Ninetales, and Bloop are the team that composes Frank's Hot Dogs. Meanwhile, three pro players on Exaltation. So that's going to be a tough task for any team. But the team of Astro, Licks, Ace, and Snugs, they've been putting in that work all day today, quite frankly. Double-digit kills for pretty much every single match on stream that they've had. And they may very well not stop here. But as we get set for tower control on Arowana Mall, you got to think that we're going to be seeing Stingray Party breaking out right here. And I ain't talking about the fish. I am talking about that big old cannon that phases through every single thing made up of solid matter. Somehow, I don't know how that's legalized in Inkopolis, quite frankly, but that just seems dangerous. That's borderline irresponsible, but that's a debate to be had for another time. That's for the Inkopolis City Council members to work out, not us. Far be it from me to get on a soapbox, but nonetheless, going to be seen as the weapon setups are being thought over, at least on the part of on the part of both teams. Bloop and Ninetales, are seeing them look over their selection as we speak. Looking like a Rapid Blaster Pro is coming out for Bloop. And here we go, folks, live from the nZone in Chantilly, Virginia. Welcome one and all to Tower Control at Arowana Mall. And now, this is it. It's Frank's Hot Dogs. It's Exaltation. And here we go. The box is locked, the lights are on. It's Splatoon fighting time. Welcome to Grand Finals here at Splat for Hope. There's your setups right there. The Splat Charger, very familiar weapon coming out from Exaltation, has been putting in work all day, as well as that no Splatling. The Splatling was taken out in very quick succession, and Bloop with that Splat Charger hanging onto the tower is going to chip away the first 12 points on the board, and they're not done yet, charging in, and that's going to take it down to at least 20. Wow, that's a 32-point advantage right now for Frank's Hot Dogs, jumping right out of the gate, saying, you know what? We know you were undefeated in round robin. Excuse me, I was about to say bracket, but pretty much in bracket. And you know what? We're not scared of you. Astro was the first one to get splatted, followed very quickly by the blaster of Licks, coming in with those end parries, sticking and moving, but not quite quickly enough as Snugs gets the hit with the Inkjet, with the blaster. Oh, but the Gold Dynamo Roller raining havoc. And of course, that was what provided the assist. Bloop administering the coup de grace with the sniper. The end parries and the squeezer being broken out. The squeezer of all weapons in a grand finals. Yeah, you're welcome, chat. I mean, I've had to commentate 2 matches with Bamboozlers in Splatoon 2. What in the world is life right now? And that's going to be, wow, checkpoint 1. Frank's Hot Dogs, they are doing some good stuff. The double by Licks is going to come in, but far too late. And that is going to be a 64-0 advantage for Frank's Hot Dogs, looking to give the first defeat to oh my god, an Exaltation. Excuse me, I just drew a blank there because frankly, I'm so used to saying that Exaltation's out in front. Maybe that's it. I'm going to say that's it, frankly. The blaster coming in. Katie might just be outnumbered, but she's not one to retreat. She does eventually retreat. We call that a commentator's curse, ladies and gentlemen. But still, that 64-0 lead is being maintained, but it looks like the push is going to start right here. But how far will it go is the question. Bloop is going to break out that Stingray, so... Oh, the countdown is still going, not respecting it at all. Will they just hop right back on, though? That is the question. So right now, 21 points. And frankly, they're not done quite yet. They're going to narrow it down to 27. So it is a 27-64 deficit, with which they are playing. Might be a little hard, but nothing worth having is easy. Licks gets taken out by Bloop with that sniper. I guess I should say Charger, but whatever. We're going to just roll with that. Ninetales with the Dynamo. Again, the Kensa Dynamo. One of those weapons that have been so influential in the new meta, those Kensa weapons in version 4, and Astro. Oh, man. Doing the young woman dirty in the alley. Goodness gracious. You don't want to meet Astro in a dark alley, especially when he's wielding a Hydra Splatling. And now, Astro still hanging on. And making anyone who's trying to crawl through want to think twice. Ninetales certainly thought about it. And Katie, seeing that Astro is still there, thinks better of it as well. So, came out unfazed. At least this time. Oh, but not there, as the custom blaster of Snugs gets right up in your face. And turns out when you get hit in the face with a blaster, it tends to hurt a little bit. So, that's how I was about to say a loss of stock, but we're not playing Smash right now. We are splatting it up at Arowana Mall. Oh, and congratulations now to Moray Towers for being the worst map in 2 franchises. So, as we get... Say I'm wrong. Say I'm wrong. I'm talking to Sarge in production. And Bloop is going to retreat, but in the meantime, I mean, Exaltation has been putting in some serious dents, but talk about dents. The GG Ray coming out. And yeah, that's going to be a double for a Stingray, and that's going to do it. Frank's Hot Dogs hands out the first defeat to Exaltation in this whole tournament. And Exaltation calling for an audio fix here. But nonetheless, I'm sure that they can hear the defeat music playing in. And even though it was a great effort all around, total combined 25 kills for Licks and Snugs, that is going to do it. And a beautiful effort on the part of Frank's Hot Dogs, who we saw Ninetales putting in that work just to get the tower. I mean, how many times did we see that wave from that Kensa Dynamo roller descend over the tower? Sorry? Before Frank's Hot Dogs wound up taking it. And Katie, of course, just like a wasp, just buzzing around, and frankly, might be a little bit annoying, might be a little bit of a pest, one could say, but at the same time, you don't want to mess with it, otherwise you do get stung, and that certainly was the case with her in the inkjet later on. And one of the reasons that they allowed themselves to pick up that victory, the 64-46 victory. I believe it was Pump Track. So it looks like we're going to see Rainmaker on Humpback Pump Track. And once again, you still can donate if you want to see a particular stage being played. And once again, all those donations, they go to Help Hope Live, which is a charity that helps out people recovering from organ transplants and major illnesses. It helps their families. It helps them get their feet situated because, as we all know, we've all been sick. We've all had to go to the hospital. We know how exorbitant those bills can be. So Help Hope Live, helping to ease that burden. It's a tremendous charity. Highly recommend that you donate to them and their cause. It's wonderful what they do for families all across North America, especially here in the DMV area. So Help Hope Live, if you are so inclined, donate to them. And thank you for joining us here, twitch.tv/switchversus. I'm Stu, the announcer, rocking with you here through this Grand Finals tournament. And what we just saw was Frank's Hot Dogs, the team on the right, taking their first victory over Exaltation, and indeed handing Exaltation their first defeat. This is the first time Exaltation has been down, but can they rain havoc on Frank's Hot Dogs tournament hopes here? In this set, time to make it rain. And you see the setups there, no changes aside from Ninetales going with the Blob Lobber, as he did in that tower control matchup in which they dominated Ace of Spades in game number 1 of their final set, which secured their Grand Finals. Of course, Kansas Splattershot Pro, I should say, along with that heavy Splat lane and the Splash-O-Matic coming out from Licks. And that is rounded out with the End Parry Dualies. So dueling dualies of the End Parry variety being broken out. Blue providing some support with that Stingray, but ultimately it is not enough. But they do take a 48-point advantage very quickly. Ace trying to nullify that deficit very quickly. Going to be made a little bit harder. It's 3-3 on the field, and Blue, he's being challenged by those dualies. He is forced to rethink his positioning, which could have been the advantage that they needed, but ultimately that in-your-face aggressive punch-you-in-the-mouth style gameplay is paying dividends right now for Frank's Hot Dogs, and they don't move it up, but they do take advantage of the broken barrier. So just so that it's not reset, frankly, that's pretty important. But right now, oh my goodness gracious, Snugs, they are seeing green right now. And the Booyah Bomb coming through, Astro driving through, they've taken the lead. Could this be a knockout victory? Oh, but Astro falls off, and that could be costly. However, 93 points on the board is nothing to scoff at. They have taken the lead, but can that have cost them a knockout victory? Wait a second! Ace with the splat, that was critical, and the slam dunked by Astro. Oh, that could have been bad. Astro knows it. You see it on his face. But that is going to be how this set gets tied at 1. Astro, yeah, I know you just looked at me, buddy. I know you thought that you just botched that up real good, but that is going to be how the set gets tied up at 1, and Snugs with 9 splats to go along with Astro and Licks' 6. And of course, Astro with that critical, Ace with the critical splat. at the very end of it all. And I thought that he was denied at the death, but yeah, the fall off into team wipe for sure. But you know what? Teamwork makes the dream work, and it certainly did for Exaltation there. And it was a great effort by Frank's Hot Dogs going into it. So we're going to see Clamblitz at the Reef for this game number 3. And again, if we see teamwork on the level that we did just there at the very end of that matchup, that spells out to be very good news for Exaltation. So, as we get things going, once again, you still have time to donate if you want to see a particular level here at the Grand Finals of Splat for Hope, which are tied up at 1 in a best-of-5 set, I believe it is. So, this isn't going to be the winner. We've had best-of-3 throughout this whole tournament, but this is, in fact, a best-of-5. So, once again, thank you to our sponsors. That is DC Esports, who have been supporting Switch Versus for a pretty long time now. Esports Fair Play, eStarland.com, the Hero Group, the Target, Fairfax, Virginia, and of course, Walmart. And yeah, I'm BCE Stu the Announcer. If you're so inclined, follow me on Twitter as well at Stu the Announcer. But of course, be sure to follow Switch Versus on Twitter at Switch Versus. That's Sarge behind the desk who's been helping me all day. He's been my audience for my terrible jokes, and I really appreciate him for that. But looks like we are set and ready to go. So back to the action we go. The squid in the back said everyone attack, and it turned into a Reef Clam Blitz. Frank's Hot Dogs looking to retake the advantage. Exaltation looking to reassert their dominance over this tournament and prove why they went through the round robin bracket 3-0. You see the layout right there, and an appropriate song for sure. The ballpoint Splatling being broken out by Astro. That seems to be the main change. You see the Splash-O-Matic, Kensa Doolies this time around, and the Forge Splattershot Pro and Bloop. Oh wow, that's a 4-2 advantage for Frank's Hot Dogs. Katie makes it 4-1, and Bloop, he has a clear line to the goal, but he does not take advantage of it. Punctual has a chance. Finally, the barrier is broken from the side. They were so concentrated on that other clam, and finally Punctual breaks on through to the other side. Shoutouts to Jim Morrison, and a 23-point start for Frank's Hot Dogs, and that seems to be the name of the game right now. Hey, Crazy Crockett, you see what I did there? Thank you so much for that. And Ace breaking out the bubbles. And could we be celebrating with some bubbly? Indeed, helps him come out and tie it up. But of course, if they don't get another clam in, it'll just reset right back to 78 remaining for them. Looks like they cannot do it. And indeed, it will go to 77-78 with an 11-point penalty for both teams. Astro breaking out that inkjet. Oh, just daring them to come after that pity clam. Katie gets a taste of her own medicine with that inkjet. The ballpoint Splatling from Astro, a very peculiar weapon that you see every so often. Has inking capabilities, but also that kill power that it boasts when fully charged. It's nothing to be scoffed at. And Snugs drawing out that fire from Bloop. Good stuff, and Ace, well, he gets taken to task by Katie, who again, with those end parries, they're just being pushed back right now, are Frank's Hot Dogs. They can't reestablish themselves. Snugs, he's trying to go as hard as he possibly can. He does eventually super jump, and that is going to be how the barrier gets broken. And we are at 69 remaining, so a 31-23 advantage as once again, the lead, the barrier, oh my goodness, just barely missing the basket. You saw all those bubbles come out, and they could have been one step closer to popping the bubbly for celebration purposes, but ultimately not able to get that in time. They do eventually break the barrier once again, but they do take it to 41-23, the advantage right now for Exaltation, who have just been pushing it and have not let Frank's Hot Dogs get a word in elsewise. The Bubbles taking out Punctual and Ace, those Bubbles providing effective. Ninetales is jumping in, a solo effort from Ninetales. That barrier is going to be broken, taking that counter down, but good defense being played. It looks like they're gonna have to chip away our Frank's Hot Dogs, as they were not able to get anything else in. And Katie picking up some clams for herself, but a power clam has been picked up by Exaltation. Snugs getting taken out while in the Inkjet. Ace is gonna be breaking in, trying to break in, oh, and he has the Bubbles coming through, pops them, gets a clear lane in, and that is how he takes the counter down to 51. So already we are halfway home for these two teams here with less than a minute remaining. Now the real question is, Ninetales has not been able to assert himself at all with that ballpoint Splatling. Oh, and Bloop gets taken out, neutralizes the threat. There are clams coming through. And Ace trying to clear a path as well. As Bubbles have been providing effective, but they keep their distance. Wisely done, and Frank's Hot Dogs, oh, they've adapted to that strategy very quickly, but could it be too little too late for Frank's Hot Dogs? And now the ball getting picked up. They do have something on the field, but they've been playing some excellent defense thus far. Katie, Bloop, coming in with Bubbles of his own. Is he able to break on through? No, he is not. Snugs and Licks stuffs them at the goal line. And a goal line stand from Exaltation could be what makes the difference, and indeed it is. And Astro exchanging pounds with his team, playing that back line. Licks and Snugs coming through, going hard in the paint for sure, and a 32-51 victory. Well, defeat for Frank's Hot Dogs, with a 51-32 victory for Exaltation, I should say, is going to be how this one shakes out. Astro with 23 kills on the Splatling. Beautifully done. And you saw the formations right there. That strategy with the Bubbles just charging in. Snugs breaking out the Bubbles and doing everything he possibly could to make his way in and worm his way towards the goal, providing that chip damage that wound up being the deciding factor here in that game number 3. So, to Inkblot Art Academy we go for Splat Zones. And as they decide their loadouts here, once again, we thank you for joining us. Twitch.tv/switchversus for tonight's action in Splatoon 2. I am BCE Stu, the announcer. If you have not already, hit that follow button like it owes you some money. I'm on Twitch as well, and Twitter, as you can see, both under the same name, @Stu the Announcer. I probably have a Snapchat under that same name, and a Friendster, and a LiveJournal, and a Zanga, and another Friendster, and a MySpace, and probably a Tout. I'm not really sure if Tout's even a thing anymore. I probably had a Vine under that. Rest in peace, Vine. But also Vine is back, so look for me on Vine. We're gonna be figuring that out. Either way, Switch versus, yeah, you're darn right we're Switch versus. Let's go. And Exaltation looking to go to dinner for sure after this game number 4. And now, yep, we're about to splat it up in Splat Zones here at Inkblot Art Academy. Pretty simple, control the middle of the field, and you win the game. Ninetales with the gold Dynamo Roller, and Astro with the Hydra Splatling. Now can Frank's Hot Dogs behead the Hydra here? To game 4 we go, and Bloop back to the usual Splat Charger, along with the dually Squelchers of Punctual. And of course, Katie with those familiar end parry dualies. And that's being countered by end parry dualies of Snugs breaking out the Splash-O-Matic to go along with his teammates' end parries. Oh, gets taken out, does Katie. And Snugs taking Bloop out as well, 3-2 on the field. and they reassert their control over this matchup. They are 60 points away from being declared the Splat for Hope champions. They still have control, and it's 4-2 on the field. They're going to tick this counter down. It's looking like all individual efforts. Now it's 2-4 deficit. They may very well lose control here. They could just seed it, and it wouldn't be that much of a problem because they have ticked that counter down to a pretty respectable margin. And it is a 73 to right now 15 advantage. 73 to 18, excuse me. And now, oh, a hard hit. It's a trade that I think that they'll take, taking out Snugs, but Astro, that backliner, hanging out in the middle of the field. And now they're going to cut into that penalty for 3-3 on the field for Astro and the rest of Exaltation. So not as much emphasis on the bubble blowers this time, but a lot of ink armor being broken out as Astro wants to maintain control however he can. Commanding his territory like a feudal shogun is Astro, who has not ceded much of anything at all until just there, where finally the penalty will be cut into by Frank's Hot Dogs, who frankly their tournament hopes could be brought to a boiling point here as Punctual, well, he says mission accomplished and retreat, but could it be just a little early? Wouldn't be the first time in American history, folks. And now Astro and the rest of Exaltation. Oh my goodness, Blue tags Snugs, and that makes it 3-3 on the field, but the advantage, once again, the penalty is gone. 75 points on the board for Exaltation. Could this be it? One last stand for Frank's Hot Dogs. Is this all they have left? 4-2 on the field. Count it down with me, folks. They're down to 5, 2, 1, and that's gonna be it. Exaltation showing their namesake right there with the pop-offs, and Exaltation are your 2018 Splat for Hope champions. Beautiful stuff. As gotta think, MVP was Astro, and indeed it was 27 combined splats between Astro and Snugs. And goodness gracious, it was not for a lack of effort from Frank's Hot Dogs for sure. But it was a beautiful effort from Frank's Hot Dogs. In fact, the only team to take a game off of Exaltation, but it's only so much you can do about 3 players from 3 separate teams, and a very good unsigned player. And I believe it was either Snugs. The thing is, it was either Snugs or Licks, and I couldn't tell which one because they all played excellently throughout this whole tournament. But yeah, that is going to be it for that for this installment of Splat for Hope here on Switch Versus. And folks, we're going to be right back. Please join us for the winter ceremonies here at Splat for Hope, presented by Switch Versus. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. throughout this whole thing. But no, I mean, the thing is, man, there's no shame in that as Dragon Warrior presents to us your champions of Splat for Hope 2018. And that is from left to right. That is Astro. Oh, goodness gracious me. It's been a crazy tournament, but you know what? The team of Astro, Ace, Licks, and Snugs. Licks, by the way, is a free agent, which is a little crazy to think about. And now, for the winners, original pieces of artwork. So these are the prizes for winning stuff like Switch Versus. Get some, oh, the squid. Hold on. Now I wish I competed. Goodness gracious, that's awesome. But folks, those are your winners for Splat for Hope 2018 in order: Astro, Ace, Licks, and Snugs. Quite frankly, they might have been named Exaltation, but one word described them today, and that's domination. And those are your Splat for Hope 2018 champions. Once again, I'd like to thank you all for joining us here. Twitch.tv/SwitchVersus. If you have not already, hit that follow button like it owes you some money. Special thanks to Dragon Warrior for hosting this whole thing. And special thanks one more time to all of our sponsors: DC Esports, Esports Fair Play, eStarland.com, the Hero Group, Target of Fairfax, Virginia, and of course Walmart for sponsoring us. If you have not already, visit our website, switchversus.com. And for Sarge behind the desk, for Dragon Warrior who organized this whole event, and for everyone here at Switch Versus, I'm BCE Stu, the announcer. We will see you next time here on Switch Versus. Good night, everyone.
Fantastic job.